I didn't get a chance to watch live last night, so I'm in a car. Actually, before I get in the car, I'm checking my phone. I see that they're up by 11 at the half, and I'm shaking my head. And I'm not shaking my head and like, oh yeah, I'm shaking my head like, yeah, of course they're up by 11. It's halftime. You know, we have to be the best first half team, first quarter team especially, at home than any team in the league. And of course the first ballot Hall of Famer, if you only count first quarters, Brook Lopez, is amazing. 18 points, whatever he was, 8 or 9 from the floor in the first. He's an amazing first quarter player. Incredible first quarter player. And of course they're up 16, so by the time I get settled in the car, we're embedded in the fourth quarter, and I mean, I could have freaking told you, I could have drawn it on paper, every single thing that happened in the fourth quarter. Why, you ask? Because we've seen it before. And no, there's no past. Just because the past happens doesn't guarantee what's going to happen in the future. But boy, when you are home for how many times now? Let's see. The Nets are now 22-15 at home. What a pathetic, disgraceful, goddamn home record. 22-15. When you've played 37 home games and you've watched the script over and over and over again, of course, I'm an idiot to expect them to survive the freaking Chicago Bulls without their best, toughest player, I should say, Noah. They don't have Gibson. They don't have Bellinelli, who's a tremendous scorer. It doesn't matter to the Brooklyn Nets at home because the Nets, with their white puff jerseys on, play puffy in the fourth quarter, no matter who walks in their building. Of course, unless you really suck. If you suck, if you're the Bobcats, you know, if you're at the bottom of the barrel, if you're the T-Wolves. Oh, what, did I say T-Wolves? I'm sorry, because the T-Wolves beat them in their building. Without Rubio and without Love, I might add. It was the second game of the year. It still makes me sick. This is the exact point. This is why I don't want... That's why I got to tell you, I hate the Barclays Center. I hate it. I hate watching the Nets when they wear white because they're a bunch of pussies. They're a bunch of freaking soft fairies come fourth quarter, led by the biggest fairy of them all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the biggest fairy of all? Brook Sheilds. Brook Sheilds, another star-studded performance in the first quarter. Finishes with 28 points, 5 rebounds. And his last 3 possessions, someone tell me why he was the go-to guy in the fourth quarter. Now, Darren Williams, listen, I've been killing that dude all year. Man, is he giving you a lot to smile about. Darren Williams basically willed his team to victory yesterday if it wasn't for Softy. If it was Softy missing, making a horrific pass. That's turned over, missing a potential tying layup. And listen, the jumper was right on. I played basketball. If a shot goes around, that means you took a good shot. Just didn't, But the fact of the matter is the 3 possessions you went to him. Turnover? He very well could have been a turnover because it didn't even look like a block on the layup attempt and then the missed jumper. Now, guy by the name of Joe Johnson came back. I know you didn't recognize that for 3.5 quarters, but you're used to that by now. But in the fourth quarter, Joe was doing what Joe does, making big shots. Why he is not the focal point when you're down 2, I don't know. He's only 9 of 10 for the year in that situation. So why would he touch the ball? Maybe I'm an idiot for thinking that he would touch the ball. No, give it to Brook Sheilds. Brook Sheilds, who I tell you, I know he's getting accolades from everywhere. All the sportscasters. I don't hate the guy as a person, but I really hate his late game performances. I hate him. I can't stand what he does in the fourth quarter. And I just about had it. I about had it with a guy playing 37 minutes at 7 foot tall, bringing down 5 boards. This is all about the last 3 minutes of the game. Forget the rest of the game. Forget it. None of it matters. The Brooklyn Nets, at one point, Ian Eagle said this on the broadcast. When I did get home, I watched the replay. It was like 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And he said that the Nets have more turnovers at that point than field goal attempts. Think about that. They played 8 minutes in the fourth quarter and had 7 turnovers in the quarter and 6 field goal attempts. How does that happen to a team that's we're supposed to feel good about going into the playoffs? How does it happen? How does it happen that a team that you're basically fighting for position with, without 3 of their very significant players, comes into your building and wins a dogfight, punches you in the mouth in the fourth quarter, and what else is new? You fold. You look at the losses that this team has had in their building, and it's disgraceful. It's sickening. I mean, the latest one to the Hawks, lost to the Knicks at home, the Lakers at home, Utah, lost to friggin', early on, Minnesota. I mean, the list goes on. And most of the wins are you get smacked in the mouth, and then they fold. It's absolutely sickening to watch this team in their building. I never, ever feel comfortable with that. You figure, I got a 16-point lead, and Chicago's undermanned. I feel great. We're in good shape. This is going to... No. If you're on the road, it's a different story. On the road, you feel like, all right, they're up by 16. Every home team makes a run. It'll get down to 3 or 4. They'll fight. They'll do what they got to do. There is a tremendous stigma with this team in their own building, and I don't know what it is. I don't know how you work it out. But they're a soft, pansy-ass team when it comes time to the fourth quarter. Kudos to Darren Williams. Played his ass off. Played one of the best games of the year. 30 points, 9 of 16 shooting, 10 assists. Obviously, he should have had, another assist on the last play. Fluffy missed the shot. And I don't know what to tell you about Joe Johnson, man. 4 for 11, but he made 3 big shots in the fourth quarter. He just doesn't like to play any other time. Maybe you just bring him in the fourth quarter. I know that's a ridiculous statement. This game is all about the last 3 minutes. And yet another disgraceful performance with turnovers. 16 in the game, but 8, half of them came in the fourth quarter. Are you kidding me, in your own building? I mean, what do you want the Nets to do? You want them to finish fourth, to get home court? Wow, that's great. I mean, you almost wish, I do. I wish there was a way they could finish 7th and face the Knicks and start in Madison Square Garden. I don't want to be home. I don't want to be home against Chicago. I don't want to be home against Atlanta. Throw me right into the road against the Knicks. Even Indiana. I mean, look at the road. Look at the road performances and how they respond. How is that? How is it? So angry last night, listening in the car down the stretch. Darren gives you the lead with that 2 tough baskets he made. And then this friggin' little, I cannot stand Nate Robinson. If there is a top 10 all-time hated players for me, obviously I'm a huge anti-Nick guy, so that's where the real hate comes from Nate Robinson. But this jerk acting like a friggin' clown. He's allowed to come down the lane with a friggin' floater, with a Mark Jackson floater, to put them ahead, sick, and then acts like a friggin'... It drives me crazy. It just makes me sick. And of course, the white boys, white meaning white jerseys, not racial, fold in the Barclays Center. We should rename the Barclays Center to the Fold Center. It's a disaster what's happening at home. And I'll never, ever, ever feel comfortable for the rest of this year. Ever since they started at the Barclays Center 7-1, think about it. They were 7-1 at the Barclays, all right? So let's do some quick math. They were 7-1, and now they're 22-15. So that makes pretty good, right? That makes us 15-14. 15-14 at home. Are you kidding me? A $300 million team, 15-14 at home over their last 29 home games. It's disgraceful. Nets, listen, you're an embarrassment. Thank God I only went to one game. I went to one game at the Barclays. I live in Jersey. I went to one game. I had to watch the Milwaukee Bucks take a 29-point third quarter lead. And I had to get out of there before I punched a chair, threw my son down six flights of stairs. I got out of that building, and you couldn't. And I gotta watch every night. I gotta watch them every time they're home, and watch them perform like babies, get hit in the mouth. What's this sound coming out of my computer? Act like friggin' babies down the stretch of ball games. They've lost at home to Boston. Let's see, who else did they lose to in the course of this year? I'm trying to get their home schedule. Dallas, another bad loss at home was to Dallas. The Memphis loss was a bad loss. I don't know how to explain it. Go on the road. How about maybe we can request that we play all the first round games on the road somewhere? Sickening. Talk to you later. Leave me alone.